All right. Well, I watched Donnie Darko. It's amazing how much more stuff I'm able to see now because of everything that we've all talked about and bounced back and forth with each other. This might be the sixth or seventh time I've watched the movie. I do watch the director's cut. I do watch it on Blu-ray. Guess guess when the jet hits the house, and I'll take a picture of it. My phone ended up I needed to charge it. My internet was down today for like 4 hours, 5 hours. And my cell phone could not upload videos. I've uploaded videos to my dummy channel or my sports only channel because I've loaded. They only allow you so many a day. So when I upload a lot from movies, I will put them over there. I don't think any of them have uploaded yet. And I still need to upload 5 or 6 more. Now, when that jet kills Donnie at the end, it is 2 hours, 2 minutes, 26 seconds. That's 2022 and then a 6. Literally 2022 on the Blu-ray digital director's cut. It fades to black at 2:07. Now the movie shows the total length of 2:13:51, but it fades to black at 2:07:40. Remember, 119 plus 88 is 207. 40, that's God's number for, I don't know, I used to just call it work. There's 40 hours in a work week. And when God needed his work to be done, there were 40s all over it. Israelites wandered 40 days and 40 nights. I think Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. Noah's Ark, I believe it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. And I always equated all of that was like everybody doing their job or the job to do, the 40s. But the 40s are big in the Bible. And 207:40 is when the Donnie Darko faded to black. 207 again is 119 plus 88 is 207, and it ended at 207:40. Now, I want to go through some things in prep, but it's nothing like, I mean, there's going to be way more to it because I've got videos to show you. They're just not ready. National championship game will be held at Lucas Oil Stadium. According to Wikipedia, the stadium's retractable roof can open or close in 9 to 11 minutes. Lucas Oil has 2 plants in the country. The original plant is located in Corona, California. The national championship game, where Fansville shows you the transfer portal, where he is portaled out and somebody else is portaled in. Because spiritually, the Antichrist is going to be portaled in through the abyss and will have the spirit of Satan indwelt in him. That's why the beast of false prophet get the lake of fire. I don't think the person Donald Trump will burn forever because I think he's a human. If he's not a human, if he literally came from somehow genetically the seed of Satan, then he would. Then that means he is not human. But he looks human. So, you know. Remember, all that take the mark, they don't get hell. They don't get death. They don't get the grave. They don't get death. They don't get hell, because hell means the grave. Those that take the mark and the beast, the false prophet, and Satan bypass death. They bypass hell and they go straight to the lake of fire, which is where the fire is. Hell is not where the fire is. That's the trick that they've just been. That's another one of the tricks, kind of like free will, you know. It's interesting though when you think about it, like the person Donald Trump potentially, he's just going to be raised and judged and receive a second death like everybody else, like the rest of the goats of the world. That was something that hit my head today, so I thought to share it with you. Now, when Donnie Darko opens, it says in association, okay, give it in association with Pandora. And then it says Flower Films. Well, there is a flower full moon and there is a Pandora's box. Now I'm going to tell you something else. Y'all know that I've definitely feel very strong that the portal, that's what it was. That's what it was. I wanted to share with you. It's in the video. They show you October 2nd on the screen. Then they show you October 10th on the screen. Remember how the month of January is an exact mirror calendar-wise of the month of October 1988. Check this out. They show you throughout the movie. October 2nd comes across the screen. October 10th, our big day, comes across the screen. October 18th comes across the screen. That's 8. Oh, and October 24th, I believe. Yeah, because it says no. I forget. But it's 8 days plus 8 days plus 8 days for 888. 8 to 10, 10 to 18. Was it 18 to 26? Then it said 4 days left, maybe. But check this out about Donnie Darko also. When they flash on the screen, October 10th, immediately Donnie goes in and talks about time travel, portals. What did we tell you? What did we just discover that January Janus Tenet is? That's the portal day. That is the absolute portal day. Now, if he doesn't go down on January 9th or 10th, because I could see it on the 9th. And then portaled on the 10th. I could see it a lot of different days. I think we know that. But if he doesn't go down in that 74-day span of the solar eclipse over to the snow full moon, which remember with the time portal date of Janus Tenet, you go back 37 days, you get the solar eclipse. You go up 37 days, you get the snow full moon. And then from there, we've been working all kind of stuff. Like you go back, it's the same amount of days to take you to day 313, which is November 9th. And then you swing from Janus Tenet, the same amount of days the other direction, you get March 13th, which is also 313. So, and we know that it's 2022 specific because it's the perfect calendar match of Donnie Darko. and it begins with a new moon on October 2nd, and Donnie Darko begins on January 2nd is a new moon, which mirrors the beginning of Donnie Darko, October 2nd. So the movie, why didn't the movie open on the first? Why the second? And if it's not going to be the first, why not the third or the fourth or the fifth? Fourth, my high school sweetheart's birthday. Fifth, my first divorce date. So if you go back to 9/11 from Janice Tennant and then swing it forward the other way, same amount of days, it comes to May 11th. That was the day of my mom's funeral, which was at the church where the parking lot was where I grew up at 404 Lime Street. We're going to have to do that visual again. A lot of people, I'm sure, didn't see that. If I say 404, we just keyed it in the other day. Now, 404 Lime Street no longer exists. It does not exist anymore, but that's where I grew up. But you will see all of the 404s on subsequent streets. They're all matching. 404, that lot right there between the 403 and the 405, that lot is now a church for First Missionary Baptist Church. You see it? That's where my mom's funeral was. When I walked out those doors, I said to people, I go, that's where I grew up, right there. Well, that's where I first lived up until I was 3 years old. Born to 3 years old. My address was 404, which are the amount of verses in the book of Revelation. And you go over here. See how they all match? Like Lime Street, 318 matches 318 over here. So you see over here, 404, it matches the 404. It's now a church parking lot, though. It's a parking lot for this First Missionary Baptist Church. That's where my mom's funeral was on May 11th. And when you walk out, there was the Bible. There was the book of Revelation, 404. So, and we tell you when Trump goes down that it opens up the book of Revelation. So I got a big lean right now to May 11th. Big lean to May 11th. All based off of Tenet, the portal that we just discovered by happenstance. You would have to go back and watch all those videos, how I came to that conclusion. And if you deem it proper, then we're going to give the Holy Spirit credit. If you think it's stupid, then blame me. But it all begins with your comments, and we solved the Tenet Janice. It's 10 hours ago, about 5 a.m. And then I did another one. I did 45 minutes, and right at the end, I figured it out. So it would be your comments, and we solved the Janice Tenet. It was right at the end of that. And then I made the whole 21-minute one. Puzzle solved, potentially you be the judge. And then there were more anomalies, or more fascinations, I should call them, of how you use that portal date swinging forwards and backwards. So, do you remember the Seattle Seahawks at the Pittsburgh Steelers? And that was the martial law date. You're going to have to just swing that back in the other direction, which I think ended up being like March something. Yeah. I did all the, I ran all those dates. So you're going to get martial law in March. Some stuff is going to go down in this country in March. It's going to get weird. It's going to get wild. It's going to get nasty. And then Trump's going to be assassinated on May 11th. Then I did a 24-minute one. Janus Tenet 2022 is the time portal as, and there's the 62 days. I did more math. So my last 4 videos before this one, and also ran up the Abomination of Desolation Day. We went back to when he said, I am the chosen one, which was August 21st, 2019. And then you run that back forward through that portal, swing it back forward. The Abomination of Desolation would be June 1st, which gives us Roger Maris hitting 61 home runs in 1961. And I was born in 1961. 6-1 Abomination of Desolation. 6-1. June 1st. By the way, 2024. Right? Yeah. June 1st, 2024. Right after the X across America. Solar eclipse. Just 2 months later, less than 2 months later. And then there's a final solar eclipse on October 2nd, the Donnie Darko date of 2024. And you remember my street ends at 2024. That street I used to live on, Brentwood Drive. So we might have the assassination date and the Abomination of Desolation date all figured out. If we were to run those, the distance of time between them, May. It was one of my best friend's birthdays, Leonard. Leonard is not a Jesus person. We just don't communicate anymore. I don't know if he still follows me on YouTube or not. If you do, Leonard, give me a call. Is any of this making you a believer? Is the Holy Spirit working in you? I mean, 2022. All the way to 6/1/2024. 752 days. Now let's run it through to his birthday. See if there's anything significant there. Nothing. Nothing significant. 77 years, 11th months, 18 days. And if you run that through to the potential assassination day, $27725. Nothing sticks out. But doesn't need to. it's just kind of where I'm at right now with stuff. Let's keep going through. Okay, so you got Flower Films in association with Pandora. When you open up Pandora's box, you know, so they call it Pandora's. It was another company in association with Pandora. Then you got Flower Films did it. And this is, I finally Googled it with my cell phone while it was still working. So it says New Market presents in association with Pandora, a Flowers film production. Car horn honking. So you get a horn when the jet hits at the beginning of the movie. Just like you get a horn and I Pet Goat starts to blow when he's in the boat. And it's on May 16th where you get the flower full moon. Now, check this out. There is a scene in the movie that ends where they show you a calendar that ends on the 15th, which was one of our days. Based off Jacob Copeland, switching his number from 15 to 1, which would be January 15th, 1 and a 15. And his initials are Jesus Christ. And that matches perfectly with what Adam gave us from Angel White, I believe, from The Simpsons. Both calendars on the exact same day. The 10th is on a Monday. And it cuts off at the 15, which is exactly what Donnie Darko showed us also. Later on, and I'll take the picture later. There was so much glare on the TV. The videos they all have glare in them. Later on, it shows you the entire calendar, but the X's only go through the 22nd. They only go through the 22nd. Last year on January 22nd, my second wife came up to the school where I worked, where the address had a 22 in it. On the 22nd day of the year, on January 22nd, which is the 22nd day of the year, our divorce was on February 2nd, 22. She came up to the address of 22 and picked up the divorce papers. She needed them for a bank loan, proof of name change or something like that. And we were joking, smiles. I mean, we get along good and all that. But it was on January 22nd, which is when the X cuts off. Now, we are equating Donnie Darko's October calendar to this coming January 22nd is where it cuts off with all the X's, and then it shows the bottom week below it, but there's just no X's on it. And I'll get that picture and I'll do it on another video. But what's weird is it says October and it's X through the 22nd. Well, that's when she and I met, on October 22nd, 2005, when my son turned 22 years old. He was born in 83. Remember, I scored the touchdown on October 20th, 1978, on a Friday. The next day, I lost my virginity on Saturday, October 21st. And then my son was born on the 22nd, 5 years later, on a Saturday. And then I met my second wife 22 years later on a Saturday. So it's Friday, Saturday, Saturday, Saturday. It's crazy, isn't it? And here's the keys to the Taurus. There's a ton of food in the fridge. There's Donnie right there. There's his sister, Gyllenhaal. I think it's Maggie Gyllenhaal. And don't forget, she was in The Dark Knight. And he's playing The Dark Knight. So, yeah. But the keys to the Taurus, tons of food in the fridge, makes me wonder if when the blackout takes place, if it all goes down in May 11th, the sun's in Taurus, May 11th. And if he goes down and it's lights out, because all the preppers, there's tons of food in the fridge. You know, you got your food ready. And because they didn't throw that word Taurus out for no reason. Unless he's going down when the moon's in Taurus. I mean, so that's it for that. That's everything I can remember. I will have videos. I want to go back and make more videos, but there was too much glare. But those are my thoughts. If I were to go with the days that I'm strongest about, I would say December 3rd, right before the solar eclipse, or on the solar eclipse, give or take. Then I would go to January 10th, January 9th, 9th, 10th, right there. Then I would go to May 11th, and I would come back down to January 15th. And then in the movie Donnie Darko, you would have to go up to, here's what they're making you think. They're making you think, according to that calendar, that he would go down on the 30th of January, because that's when Donnie went down, was on the 30th. Right? Or was it the 31st? It was 28 days from the 2nd. Yeah. So it's like the 30th. So they're making you think January 30th. Well, that's going up 20 days. Well, swing it back in the other direction, because don't forget, it's the portal. You're swinging days back and forth. Like if they make you think it's this date, swing it back the other way. That puts you, if you swing it back the other way, it is on the winter solstice on the 21st of December, which was last year's great conjunction date. So I would have to throw that in high on the list. Anyway, I know that it's confusing. You're going to have to watch your comments, and we solved Tenet Janice, and then puzzle solve potentially, and then exact time of halfway point, and then Janice Tenet 2022 is the time portal. And then go back and watch this one. If you're watching a lot of other videos too, and putting mine on the back, I'm telling you, put everything else aside. Now, not your life stuff, but put all those videos ahead of all your other YouTube video watching. YouTube video watching, not ahead of your life, grocery stores, kids, grandkids, but put this video and the previous 4, make them a priority over all of your other extracurricular stuff, especially with YouTube. I'd put it ahead of watching a Netflix series, whatever, because every movie is about what we're discussing. Every movie in one way or another every series, everything is about what all this is. And if you want to go back to even the previous one, January 2022 calendar matches October 1998. Go back and watch that one too. I mean, so it's this one in the previous 5. Then you're gonna have an idea. Then you're gonna know what's going on. So if you hadn't watched those and you're just watching this one, then I didn't do it visually, except a little. So, but I do it all visually on the other videos. All right, love y'all.